my friends. Welcome to my online studio. My name is Kate, for those of you who don't know me, and this is a short tutorial about opening up your shoulders for binding poses. Okay, so like bound, side angle, or bird of paradise, or something like this. If you're working on these poses, these are some nice exercises that you can do to warm up the shoulders ready for binding. Okay, so a bind is something in yoga where you are reaching through or around the front of your leg, wrapping your arm around your back, the other arm comes around and you grab a hold of it, okay? And this is quite often seen in yoga to open the chest a little bit, open the shoulders up, and this kind of thing. It's quite often used in balances and standing postures and things like that, but also in squat you can bind around. So there's if you've been to a yoga class, you may have seen this. If this is the first time you're seeing this, don't worry about it. Yeah, it is quite heavy on the shoulders, and we do need to warm them up quite a lot before we attempt to do something like that, because the shoulders are a place where we do store a lot of tension. Quite often we have rounded shoulders from sitting in front of the computer the whole time, this kind of thing, okay? So for this tutorial, you will need either a stretchy thing, like a band that I've got here. One of these bands is really good. Or if you've got an old pair of tights or an old t-shirt or something like that, you could also use that, okay? And we're just going to begin actually standing up, because we're going to really warm into the shoulder joints. So step your feet about hips distance apart, okay? And you can bring your left hand onto your chest, and we'll just begin by rotating the arm, okay? So swing your arm forwards, okay? Your right arm up and over your right ear and all the way back down behind you, okay? So really imagine here that you're going to go quite quickly and swing your arm around, okay? Frontwards and backwards. Okay, so forwards and back, forwards and back. Now try to imagine you're not whipping your body as you do this. You're trying to keep your chest as still as possible. Okay, really go for it. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, full range of motion, 2, and 1. Good job. And the other way, so back behind you, up and over your right ear, and then keep going from here. We'll go, 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 go. Yeah, so we're going quite fast here, keeping your left hand on your chest so as to be sure that you're not whipping your body too much. Your body can move a bit, that's okay, no problem. We go here, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come back. And we'll switch sides. So take your right hand across your chest, and then begin here to swing your left arm forwards, up and over your left ear and back behind you. Yeah, and try to avoid whipping your body too much as we really start to get into the full range of motion as in the shoulder. Okay. So we'll keep going, keep going. We'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. Come back and we'll go the other way. So swing your left arm back behind you and up and over your ear, and then go. Then we'll go backwards and forwards and try to avoid whipping your body too much. It can move a bit. That's okay. No problem. And we'll go 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Come back. And then open your arms out to the side and just begin to slap yourself on the back. And you can change, so you can cross your arms the opposite way each time you do this, yeah? So bringing one elbow onto the top and then switching over and bringing the other one onto the top every time you do this. So we're going to reach around and just slap yourself on the back and imagine you're congratulating yourself for being an awesome person today. So from here, keep going. We'll go here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done, my friends. And then just roll the shoulders. Okay, so really make big movements here. Imagine that you are some guy at the gym flexing as you do this. Yeah? Really roll your shoulders forwards and really squeeze your shoulder blades together as you roll them back. Keep going. We'll go 3, 2, 1, and then go the other direction. So roll your shoulders forwards, and this is your flexing guy moment. Really roll them forwards. Really exaggerated movements. Go for it. Your chest can move a little. That's okay. We'll go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job. Shake everything out. and then come back down onto your bum. So we're going to take the strap, if you have a strap, a yoga strap maybe, and we're just going to fold it 2 or 3 times so it is about 30 centimeters long, okay? Now from here, take the strap in your left hand, okay, and then take your arms out to the side. Your thumbs face up towards the sky. As you inhale here, flip your palms, your right palm backwards, so your right thumb faces the floor, okay? Now from here, bend your right elbow and bring the back of your right hand to your low spine, okay? I'm going to turn around on my mat so you can see me, okay? You're going to imagine bringing your back of your hand to your low spine. Now keep your spine nice and long here. Your chest is up, your chin is slightly lifted, okay? And then bring your left arm up over towards your left ear, and then bend your left elbow, and imagine here that you could squiggle and wiggle your right hand up until you can grab a hold of your strap, okay? Now from here, my friends, notice what's happened with your right shoulder, okay? Now your right shoulder may have poked forwards a little bit, and that is totally and utterly okay. The last thing we want to do here is to yank the shoulder back into the socket whilst it is stretched in this very, it's not used to stretching like this, okay? So we don't want to yank the shoulder back into the socket, but also we want to be really mindful that we haven't poked the shoulder so far forwards that it is kind of out of its position, out of its socket. Okay, so you want to find a nice middle ground there where you're feeling a little bit of a stretch potentially through the front part of the shoulder, okay? But you're not feeling like you are pinching anything or pulling anything out of place, okay? Your shoulder has come forwards a little, that's okay, absolutely, and absolutely no problem at all, okay? So from here, really imagine that you could now bring your left elbow up towards the sky, and imagine you're going to point your elbow up towards the sky. Pull your lower ribs in a little bit, okay? So we're not pressing the lower ribs forwards. I'll turn around again. Okay, so your lower ribs have not flared out underneath you. Pull them in a little bit, so tuck your tailbone under. Reach up through the crown of your head, and then imagine here that you could lean your head back into your left forearm. Really poke that left elbow up towards the sky, and then imagine that you're going to point that right elbow down towards the floor without twisting your body and falling over to the side, okay? So from here, lift up through the crown of your head, try to lift your chin a little bit away from your chest, and feel that stretch going through the front side of your right shoulder and through your tricep of your left arm, okay? We'll hold here a couple more breaths. Tuck your tailbone under, lower ribs pull slightly in, crown of the head towards the sky. Gently release your right hand, let it go. And then from here, just roll your shoulders a few times. Okay, we're going to switch sides. So we'll take the strap or whatever. In your right hand, extend your left arm out to the side, and then flip your palm so your thumb faces down towards the floor. Bend your left elbow, whoop, and bring the back of your left hand to your low spine, okay? Now, my friends, you may need to lengthen your strap a little bit for the first time we do this, okay? It's really okay. You don't need to have a shortened strap. You can have it as long as feels good in your body, okay? So don't think that what I say is the law. It isn't, okay? So from here, my friends, bend your right arm and dangle your strap down your back until you can grab a hold of it with your left hand. Okay, now notice what's happened with your left shoulder, okay? Your left shoulder may have poked forwards a little bit, that's okay. Again, we just don't want it to be poked so far forwards that it's shooting kind of out of its socket and you're feeling like, oh my God, my shoulder is gonna pop out. Yeah, we don't want that, okay? So if that's happening, lengthen your strap a little bit, okay? It's really okay. Now from here, find a middle ground, a middle place where you can gently guide the shoulder a little bit back okay? But it does not have to be yanked all the way back. The shoulder blades do not have to squeeze together. It's totally okay, yeah? Your shoulder needs to be a little bit poking forwards because of the position of your arm here, yeah? You are in this very, we're not used to doing this with our arms, okay? So now from here, imagine that you're going to point your right elbow right up towards the sky and your left elbow down towards the floor, okay? Pull your lower ribs under by tucking your tailbone gently and rolling a little bit onto your sit bones, and then lean your head back. So you're really imagining here that you're lifting your chin and pressing the back of your head into your forearm, okay? So now from here, you might be feeling a nice stretch through the left front side of your shoulder and a nice stretch through the right tricep. And that's totally okay. All right, we'll hold here for a couple of breaths. Deep inhale and long exhale. Well done. Inhale and exhale. Pull your lower ribs in. Reach that right elbow up towards the sky, the left elbow down towards the floor. Inhale. And then gently release as you exhale. Well done. Now, my friends, we're going to do that, but we're going to take them a little bit faster. So we're going to pass the strap from the right to the left and then from the left to the right. Okay, so I'm going to turn my back to you guys so that you can see what I'm doing. All right, reach the crown of your head towards the sky, tuck your tailbone a little bit, pull your lower ribs in. Yeah, so your spine is nice and long, your neck is nice and long. Take the strap in your right hand, extend your arms wide. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, and then as you exhale, flip your left palm, bring the back of your hand to your low spine, bend your right elbow, and imagine that you're going to pass the strap from your right hand to your left. Whoop! Open your arms wide, and we'll go again the other way. Deep inhale, and then exhale. Bend your left elbow, flip your right palm, bend your right elbow, and pass your strap back to your right hand. Open it out. Inhale here, keep your tailbone tucked under, lower ribs pulled in, and then exhale. Switch the strap. Shoop, open it out. Inhale, we'll go a little faster. Exhale, switch. Keep your chest lifted. Inhale, exhale, switch. And imagine here that you're just going to move as little as possible in your upper body. Okay, so we're not swaying from side to side. We're opening the arms, and then gently switching the strap. Yeah, the upper body is staying nice and still, and we're just using our shoulder rotation. Good job. Keep going, inhaling and exhaling, switch. Yeah, nice job. Now try to imagine you're going to keep your chin lifted as we do this. Okay, so your chin is lifted. We're not every time rounding the spine and bringing the chest down. Keep going. Well done. And we'll take one last round on each side. Okay, so right hand to left, open it out. Left hand to right, open it out. Good job. And we'll come back to center. Well done. So you can take your strap, yeah, and for the first few times that you bind, it might be a nice way for you to find accessibility in your bind, okay? Is by using a strap, okay? You don't have to do the bind without anything the first time you do it, or if you are working towards binding, yeah? Now what we're going to try to imagine in the bind is that when we bind, I'm going to turn around and show you what I mean, and you can join me if you want to. So come up to sit on your knees, okay? Now we're going to imagine that we are binding around. So we're going to take the hands behind our back and interlace the fingers behind your bum, okay? Now, when we do this position, what we actually do is straighten the elbows and then take the hands away from the bum. And this is also a really, really beautiful stretch to do to prepare for binding, because in the binding poses, we want to imagine eventually that we are going to straighten our arms and open our chest, okay? So my friends, you can hold this for as long as feels good for you. Pull your lower ribs a little bit in, tuck your tailbone under, and then really try to imagine taking your hands as far away from your bum as possible. Okay? Now, eventually, this is what we're going to get to in our bind. All right? So my friends, release your hands, come on back, shake everything out a little bit. By the way, PS, if you ever do this pose where you've got your fingers interlaced and you're extending your arms behind you and your fingertips start to go numb, you need to come out. That means you're pinching nerves, okay? If you get tingling sensation in your fingers at any time when we bind or do anything with the shoulders, or your fingertips start to feel a bit numb, you need to come out, okay? That means you're pinching nerves and you need to find another way to do the pose, okay? So, my friends, we are going to make our way into a Warrior Two. Now, I will have a Warrior Two tutorial up. As soon as I do, I will put a little link in the corner there and you can see it. So we're not going to be so precise about our Warrior Two for now, okay? What we're going to focus on is the arm position and the shoulders in the bind, okay? So we're going to step the right foot forwards on the mat and then step the left foot back. Okay, now be mindful here that we haven't opened our hips. We haven't done any kind of stretching for the legs. Okay, so be really mindful what you're doing and be sure to use the strap length that suits your body today, because it might not be your shoulders that are hindering you. It might be the fact that we haven't warmed up our hips, okay? So from here, take your feet about one leg's distance away from each other, okay? Now we're going to take the strap in the left hand. We'll bend into the front knee, okay? So from here, my friends, bring your right elbow down onto your right knee, okay? And then reach your left arm towards the sky. Your left arm has the strap in it, okay? Again, flip your palm so your thumb faces down towards your bum, and then bend your elbow and bring the back of your hand to the outside, to maybe your low back or to the outside of your right hip. Okay, from here, imagine that you could maybe bring your hand to a block, if you have blocks, or on top of a book or a towel or something, and then lean a little bit forward. So your shoulder, your right shoulder, comes to the inside of your right knee. Okay? Now, my friends, from here, reach back with your right hand. So you're going to move your right hand a little bit more towards the right side of your mat. Your thumb is facing your bum. Bend your right elbow and try to imagine that you could find your strap, okay, wherever it is. Extend your arms long and pull your right sit bone under your body as you turn your chest a little bit towards the sky. Okay, be really mindful here that you're not yanking your left shoulder out of its socket. And be really mindful that you haven't pressed with your knee so hard against your right shoulder that your right shoulder is all collapsed and falling forwards, okay? You want to avoid your right hip sticking out to the side and your face facing the floor, okay? Here, you want to extend your arms a little bit and then turn your chest towards the sky as you roll your right sit bone underneath your body. Now, if you've got that going on, look up towards the ceiling, okay? Breathe, inhale. Let go of your strap as you exhale. Bring both hands down to the floor. Rotate your back heel to the sky and put your back knee down. Step it back. We'll come through all fours from here. And if you need to, you can extend your right leg long and your left leg too. Yeah, and that's pretty heavy on the legs, okay? So be really mindful there, of course, that your hips don't feel that too much, okay? And you might want, we'll practice sitting down in a minute too, okay? And you might want to start with the sitting down pose if it doesn't suit your body. As I always say in any of my tutorials, if I start doing something that really doesn't fit with your body, yeah, try to modify or do something else that suits you. It's not a rule, what I say, yeah? You don't have to listen to me. If it doesn't work for your body, don't do it, all right? Okay, my friends, so come on up to stand and we'll try the other side. So this time, take your strap in your right hand, step your left foot forwards to the front of your mat, and then take your back foot out so there's about one leg's distance between your front foot and your back foot. We're not going to be so exact about that now, okay? Bend into your left knee. Make sure your left knee stays over your left ankle. It's not gone too far forwards. You want to keep the knee safe. And then bring your elbow down onto your knee. Okay, so from here it's kind of pretty easy, okay? Extend your right arm to the sky and then flip your palm so your thumb faces your bum, okay? Bend your elbow and bring the back of your hand to your low spine, or maybe see how your shoulder feels. Squiggle and wiggle the back of your hand to the outside of your left hip. Okay? From here, maybe go on ahead, lean down and place your left fingertips on the inside of your left foot, maybe on a block or a book or something else from there. Okay? Now, my friends, we're going to take the weight into our legs. Try to imagine we're going to bring the outer edge of the shoulder to the inner edge of the left knee. And then we're going to reach back with the left hand more towards the left side of the mat. So your thumb is facing your bum again. And then we can maybe lean forwards a little bit, bend your left elbow, and try to imagine that you're going to find your strap. Okay? So just find that strap. Now, my friends, you might find that your left hip has poked all the way out to the side, yeah, and you're facing the floor. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pull that left hip underneath your body and then try to imagine extending your arms a little bit as you turn your chest towards the sky, pressing your left shoulder against your left knee as you do so. Yeah, so try to avoid your shoulders being too hunched forwards. Now we're going to try to imagine that we're going to roll the chest towards the sky as we roll the sit bone underneath the body. Yeah, so there's a long line of energy coming all the way up the right side of your body. So we'll breathe here, inhale, and then let go. Exhale, both hands to the inside of your front knee, rotate the back heel to the sky, bring the back knee down, and step back. Okay, so from here you might want to extend your left leg a little bit. You might want to shake out the leg. You might want to extend the right leg, shake it out. Okay, and then come to sit on your mat. And we'll try that again, sitting down. Okay, so just as I did at the start of class, we'll try that sitting down. Okay, so my friends, bend your knees, take your knees out to the side, yeah? Maybe take your strap, maybe not, totally okay. So there is a saying when we bind in yoga that the wrapper is the grabber, okay? So it means that the hand, the arm that you wrap around your body is the one that you use to grab the other arm, okay? Don't worry too much about that right now, okay? Or if we can interlace the fingers or even just find fingertips to fingertips, it's good enough in the beginning, yeah? Don't worry too much about it, okay? So, from here, my friends, bend into your left knee and bring your left heel to your bum, yeah? Now, if your left knee doesn't come down to the floor and you need to put your book or something underneath your left knee, that's totally no problem. Yeah, and we're going to bring the right leg into the chest, okay? Take a hold of your right foot with your left hand, and then really imagine that you're going to swing that right knee back towards your right shoulder, okay? From here, take your right hand and thread it through the gap made by your right leg and your left hand. Okay, so now we've threaded it through. Extend your arm to the side as best you can, and then flip your palm so your thumb faces down. Okay? Bend your elbow back, and imagine that you're going to bring the back of your hand to the outside of your hip. Okay? That might be enough today, no problem. You can let go of your right foot, yeah, and that's okay. And look what's happened to the shoulder. It's poked forward. Really okay, all right? No problem. Really, really no problem. Don't worry about it poking forwards. Try not to yank it too far back, yeah? And try not to allow it to poke forward so much that you feel like it's going to come out of the socket, okay? From here, my friends, turn your chest a little bit towards your left leg, extend your left arm out, flip the palm so your thumb faces down, and then bend your elbow and bring the back of your hand to your low back. And then imagine that you could squiggle and wiggle down towards your right hip and maybe interlace your fingertips. Good enough. Okay, now from here, imagine that you could extend the crown of your head towards the sky, yeah? And then turn your chest a little bit towards the left side as you actively imagine drawing your left shoulder slightly back. From here, your right shoulder is engaged, but it's poking forwards, okay? So from here, your hands may be bound down by your right hip, okay? And that's really okay. The right hip is the meeting point for the hands, all right? Quite often we try to get the hands to come up and we're kind of bound up here, but no, it should be the elbows a little bit extended and the hands down by the hip. Totally okay, all right? So lift your chest, lower ribs pull in, turn your chest towards the left side, and then gently engage your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades lightly, and then release, let it go. Again, my friends, if you ever feel any tingling in your fingertips, come out a little bit and maybe use your strap. Totally okay. All right, and we'll go the other side. So take your feet out, kind of wide, knees bent. Maybe your block or your book goes the other side. Bend your right knee and place your right heel by your bum. Now maybe your knee will come down to the floor, or maybe you need it on a block. It doesn't matter. All right, now you might need your strap for this. You might not. See how you feel, okay? Be mindful what's going on for you. And if at any point you think, nah, my body doesn't like it, don't do it, okay? Skip it. Okay, so we're going to bend in to the left knee, and we're going to really try to imagine bringing the left knee to the left shoulder. Reach down with your right hand and take a hold of the sole of your left foot. Lift your foot a little bit and then thread your right hand through and in between your legs, okay? You can bring the hand to the floor, that's okay. And then really imagine that you're going to try to squiggle and wiggle your shoulder as far down underneath your knee as possible, okay? Lift your chest a little bit, that's okay. And now extend your left arm to the side, thumb faces down. And then imagine bending your elbow and trying to bring the back of your hand just to the outside of your left hip. You can let go of your left foot. Maybe it stays. Okay? Now look at the shoulder. The shoulder has poked forwards. All right? That's okay. No problem. Extend your right arm to the side. Flip your palm. Thumb faces down. And then bend your elbow. Bring your back of your hand to your low back. And then squiggle and wiggle. And try to imagine that you're going to interlace your fingers or grab a hold of your fingertips. Okay, now your hands have met underneath and to the left side of your left hip. Yeah, now shoulders are poking forwards a little bit. Now my spine is a little bit rounded. It's okay, but I'm going to try to lift my chest a little bit and then turn my chest towards the right side as I actively and gently and mindfully pull back on my right shoulder. Yeah? Now the left shoulder stays poking slightly forwards, but try to imagine that it hasn't gone all the way, and you're pulling it out of its socket. And if it's comfortable to put something underneath your left foot, do that for the start. Yeah, it's really okay. You can put something underneath your feet. You can modify in any way that feels good for you. Yeah, there are no rules, only no pain. That should be the only rule. No pain and no tingling and no numbness, all right? So wherever you are, lift your chest and turn towards the right, yeah? So really imagine here that you could extend your arms nice and long, whether you've got your strap or not, it doesn't matter. Deep inhale, and then let go, exhale. Take it out, place everything off to one side. Come into a comfortable seat here, and then shake your wrists, roll your shoulders a few times. And then maybe if you want to, you can just open your arms and slap yourself on the back again. So you're congratulating yourself today for trying out this binding tutorial, okay? So my friends, as always, take care of yourself, stay mindful in your practice, and really be aware of what you're doing and why. Okay, so you can really ask yourself next time you go for the bind, why am I wanting to do this so badly? Yeah, is it actually hurting me rather than hindering me? And do I need to use a strap for the next few times I try to do this? Okay, the strap is super, super helpful here. It will really make a big difference. And eventually your strap will get shorter and shorter and you won't need it anymore. Finally, eventually, yeah? Or you just keep on practicing, keep on doing what's good for your body. Yeah, and try to avoid forcing or pushing. Never, never, never a good time to do that. Okay, my friends, so shake everything out. Let yourself come back. And take a few moments just to reconnect back to your breathing. Okay? And this just means allow yourself to find your breath. How does it feel to breathe in? How does it feel to breathe out? Really noticing the breath. and then noticing what's happened in your body as we did that tutorial. Okay, notice if anything came up for you. Notice if you got angry or sad or frustrated or anything else that happened. It's always good to notice. Yeah, it's always good to notice that, allow it to be there, and then let it go. Because it is a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. All right. So thanks again for joining me, guys. I hope you'll join me for my next tutorial, and we'll see each other soon on the mat.